And start by sharing my screen. Let me just get everything adjusted. Good. And we're going to be looking this evening at discarding by declarer. And there are a number of situations coming up where you have to choose the right discards, either to discard losers or to keep your best source of tricks. And let's start off with this one, where you open one no trump, playing weak no trump, 12 to 14, and that's passed out. And West makes the opening lead of a spade, queen of spades, and down comes dummy. And you can see you're a bit weak in the spade suit. So let's suppose let's start by counting our top tricks, and I can see I've got 2 club tricks and 2 heart tricks. And apart from that, those 4 top tricks, my best source of tricks is going to be in diamonds. Unfortunately, the opponents have got off to a good lead for them, it looks like, by the queen of spades. So they're going to take a number of spade tricks, and as they do, we're going to have to find the right things to discard. But the important thing to remember is that apart from the 2 hearts and 2 clubs, I want to try to keep as many diamonds as possible. So you might try the king from dummy on this occasion. If you do, it will lose to the ace. If you play low, the queen wins and they'll play another spade. The king loses to the ace, and back comes another spade, and you're going to have to start to discard. And the important thing to discard here is to try to keep as many diamonds as possible. So I'm going to discard something else like a heart. If they keep playing spades, I might discard a club. And if they play another spade, again, I'm going to try to keep as many diamonds as possible, so I might discard a club there. Finally, they run out of spades and they start playing clubs, so I'm going to win that. And now I'm just going to try to set up the diamonds. I've got to force out the ace, so I'll start by playing the king of diamonds, winning in the shorthand. If that holds a trick, I'll play another diamond and cross over there, except West wins, plays another club, and I win that. But now I've got the rest. I've got good diamonds, and I've got the ace of hearts as a way to get there. So I can cash my king over to the ace, and I've got 2 diamonds. So played that way, I can make 7 tricks. It's relatively straightforward. Just a matter of remembering, try to keep your diamonds and don't get too despondent when the opponents start cashing their spades. There's nothing much you can do about that, but you only need to make 7 tricks, and you should be able to do that as long as you can make 3 diamond tricks. So that's a simple one in remembering what to discard as the opponents are cashing their spades. Let's try another one. This time you open one no trump again. Your partner bids 2 diamonds and you're playing transfers. So that 2 diamonds is a transfer to 2 hearts. And then your partner rebids 3 no trump. And that bidding sequence should mean that they have exactly 5 hearts and enough points for game. So they're playing 3 no trump. If I had 3 or more hearts, I would go back to 4 hearts. But here I've only got 2. So I will pass 3 no trump. And the opponents start off with a spade, the 7 of spades. And we can see once again that we're probably going to be in trouble in spades because we don't really have much of a stopper there. But before we go too much further, I'd like you to think about how many top tricks you have here. So count the suits one at a time. And in a moment, I'm going to launch a poll. And the question is, how many top tricks do you have? Top tricks are tricks you can definitely take without losing the lead, without finessing or anything like that. So have a count of the number of top tricks you have between you and dummy on this hand. And here comes the first poll of the evening. And the majority here have gone for 9, 69%, with 31% going for 8. And let's switch back and see what we think. Well, in clubs, we hope to make 5 club tricks there. And in diamonds, we hope to make 3 diamonds. We're going to be a little careful about how we play those diamonds, but if we cash the ace first, we then should be able to make the king and queen. And we have one more top trick, which is the ace of hearts. So yes, I agree with the majority of you. You have 9 top tricks, and the only thing that's going to spoil that is if the opponents take the first 5 tricks or more to defeat you. But we can't do anything about it, really. We can, whatever we play here, they take their king, they play another spade back, taking their ace, and then they continue playing spades. And you just have to remember, you must keep your 5 clubs in dummy. So discard a heart, and another spade is played, so discard another heart from dummy. And fortunately, they can only make 4 tricks here. So when they cash their last spade, if they shift to a heart, you, of course, are not going to risk any finesse here, and you're going to go up with the ace of hearts, and then just be a little bit careful about the diamonds. So unblock that ace of diamonds, cross over to the clubs where we can take the ace and the king. And then, of course, before we take the rest of the clubs, we cash the king and queen of diamonds, and we'll make the last 3 club tricks. So played that way, as long as the opponents can't start off by taking 5 or more hearts, spades, you can make that as long as you keep your clubs and throw away the hearts. It's a little difficult to throw away the hearts. You've got the queen, jack, 10, 9, but it's definitely the right thing to do. Do stop me if you have any questions about that one. And let's turn to another one here, where you open one spade, west overcalls 2 diamonds, north invites game with 3 spades. And although you're minimum in terms of points, you've got a 6-card spade suit, and you accept the invitation. And the opponents start off by leading the queen of diamonds. And let's start by, in a suit contract, working out how many likely losers we have. So in spades, we may lose to the king, we may not. In hearts, we have 2 possible losers. We may lose, the queen might lose to the king, and the 10 might lose to the jack. So that's 1 possible spade, 2 possible hearts. We don't have any diamond losers, and we've got a number of club losers in our hand here, except we're probably not going to lose more than 2 clubs, because we'll be able to ruff clubs in dummy. We have 10 trumps between us, so we can probably draw trumps and still have enough trumps to ruff the clubs. Anyway, they've led the queen of diamonds, and let's suppose we play the ace, and we actually have a chance to discard on the ace and the king of diamonds. And the second poll of the evening is, what are you going to discard on the ace and king of diamonds? Are you going to discard 2 clubs or 2 hearts, or are you going to discard 1 club and 1 heart? So this is a time to plan your discard. And here comes the poll. What are you going to discard on the ace and king of diamonds? Let's have a look at the results. And the most popular response was 2 hearts, followed by 2 clubs, and a few people selected a heart and a club. And let's think about this. Well, you could discard clubs, but you're only ever going to lose 2 clubs at the most. So if you discard a club there, you're not actually saving any tricks because you're always going to rough clubs in dummy. The suit you want to discard is 2 hearts here. And discarding 2 hearts on the ace king of diamonds will mean you won't lose any hearts, and all you'll lose is possibly a spade and 2 clubs. If I click on the GIB button here, it's actually telling me that the only way to make this contract is to discard the heart here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to discard the heart. Now I might try the spade finesse here. That loses, unfortunately. And if they play a club, well, I'm going to try to see if the king will make a trick. It doesn't here. They can cash another club here. But that's their 3 tricks. And if they now lead another heart, I'm not going to try any finesse here because I'm always going to discard that queen of hearts on the king of diamonds. So play the ace here. Let's draw the last trump. There's just 1 trump out. And now I've got those 2 club losers in my hand, but I've got 2 trump in dummy to rough them with. So I'm going to rough a club, then cash the king of diamonds, discarding a heart, of course, not a club. And then I can rough a heart, rough a club, and make 10 tricks that way. So this hand was relatively straightforward as long as you discarded the right thing on the ace and king of diamonds. What people do on this hand, because they see the queen and 10 of hearts, they like to keep that and try to finesse with it, but much better is to discard those possible losers on the ace and king of diamonds. This hand is quite interesting because if I change the hand, if I make the south hand a little bit weaker, if I take away the queen and 10 of hearts and maybe give myself 2 low hearts here, then if the opponents lead a diamond, it's sort of much easier to see that you've got to discard your hearts on the diamonds. And because they're low hearts, it's maybe much easier to do. So when this hand, going back to the first hand, when this hand was played, a lot of people didn't make 10 tricks on this hand. And, you know, South has got the excuse, really, sorry, my hand was too good. If I'd had low hearts instead of the queen and 10, it might have been easier to make that. But with low hearts there, it's sort of easier to see that you want to discard those hearts. And again, you should just make 10 tricks on this hand. Do interrupt me if you would like to ask a question about that. And let's turn to this hand. This was another hand that was played recently. You open 1 spade here, your partner bids 2 clubs, and you rebid 2 spades. Then he goes into blackwood for no trump, and you're just playing ordinary blackwood here. So you bid 5 hearts, which shows 2 aces. And you end up in 6 spades, and West leads the jack of clubs, and you can see a very nice looking dummy there. And what you need to do here is to make a plan and try and work out how many potential losers you have, or if you like, you can work out how many winners you have, and try and work out how many tricks you expect to make here. So playing in 6 spades, how many tricks do you expect to make here? Have a little think, and in a moment I'm going to launch a poll, and the question is, how many tricks do you expect to make here? Have a look at the results. And most of you have gone for 12, with the second 35% going for 13, and 3 people said 11. So let's switch back and see what we think. Well, you can analyze this in a variety of ways. If we start off by counting our top tricks, we expect to make 5 spades, 2 hearts, 2 diamonds, and 3 clubs. And indeed, if we were playing this in 6 no trump, we would probably just make those 12 tricks. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But playing in spades, we have a chance to make one more trick, and that's because of the club situation. Because we have the ace and then the king queen opposite our doubleton club, anytime you have sort of honors like that, it gives you a chance for a discard. So when the time comes and I play the clubs, I will be able to discard on the queen of clubs, and the card I will discard is a heart, and that means I won't lose any heart tricks. So I'm not going to lose any spades. If I discard a heart, I won't lose any hearts. I'm not going to lose any diamonds because I can ruff one in dummy, and you should be able to make 13 tricks playing in a spade contract. When this hand was actually played, some people played it in no trump and made 12 tricks. But of those who played it in spades, only about half made 13 tricks. But I hope you can see, as long as you discard the right thing on the clubs, you should be able to make all the tricks. So if they lead a club, let's win that one. And let's start by drawing trumps. Trumps fall in 2 rounds here. And now all I need to do is play the club. So I can play the club. And the key thing is here, when you play the club, you've got to discard a heart, not a diamond. Discarding the diamond doesn't help. You still have a heart loser, but by discarding a heart, now I'll be able to ruff a heart. And in diamonds, I can ruff a diamond, and I should be able to make 13 tricks there. So do have a look at this one again if you didn't see the 13 tricks that are available. But of course, once you see it, you can see that you can avoid that heart loser because you're able to discard on the club. Any questions on that?
Yes, Tony, it's Fiona here.
Hello, Fiona.
Any reason why North didn't support the spades straight away?
Yes. Well, so North has got, I don't know, something like 19 or 20 points there. They've got a very good hand, and their hand is basically too strong for an immediate jump to 4 spades. So if you are playing some system like Jacobi 2-no trump, you could respond 2-no trump. Otherwise, it's probably best just to make a forcing bid like 2 clubs and see what your partner rebids. Here they rebid 2 spades, and you're going to go into 4-no trump. You'd probably do that anyway. So you could have gone straight to 4-no trump, but don't make the mistake with the North hand of just jumping to 4 spades, because South will pass that, and you'll miss out on the slam.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, makes sense.
All right, any other comments on that? Let's try this one. And here you open 1 heart. There's a 1 spade overcall. Your partner bids 3 hearts. And you've got, again, a very nice trump suit there. And you bid 4 hearts. And the opponents lead the king of spades. And I'd like you to think about your possible losers here. And we'll go through them, actually. It seems like we've got 2 potential spade losers, 1 heart loser. We're not going to lose any diamonds, but we're missing the ace and king of clubs. So we start off with 5 potential losers. And I'd like you to think about how you're going to avoid some of those. Let's suppose we play the ace of spades and win the first trick. I'm going to launch now the next poll, which is, which card are you going to play from dummy? You've just won the first trick with the ace of spades, and I'd like you to think about how you're going to play this and which card you're going to lead from dummy at trick 2. So have a think about that. Is it a spade, a heart, the ace of diamonds, or the jack of diamonds, or a club? What are you going to play from dummy at trick 2? Oh, there we go, finally. Okay, so the most popular response was the ace of diamonds, and there were responses for all the others: a club, jack of diamonds, a heart, or a spade. Well, if we switch back to this, you really need to focus on your losers here, as is often the case in a suit contract. Remember, we have two heart losers. We're going to lose we've got two spade losers. We're going to lose a heart, and we've got two club losers, almost certainly. So we have 5 losers, and there's only one way to make this now, and that is to play the diamonds now. It's no use playing the hearts, no use drawing trumps, because the opponents will get in and they will almost certainly switch to spades and take 2 spades. And they may still make their club tricks as well. So yeah, the way to make this is to not draw trumps yet, but to cash a diamond. And the right diamond to play, yes, is the ace. Playing the jack of diamonds is no good at all, because you'll win the king, but you won't be able to continue to take your diamonds. What you have to do is to play the ace of diamonds, dropping the king, of course, and now you play the queen, throwing away your spade losers, and the jack, throwing away your other spade loser. And now you're not going to lose any more spade tricks. Now you can turn your attention to draw trumps. If your opponents play spades, you can ruff, draw the last trump, and then cash your clubs, establish your clubs, force out the ace and king, and in the end, you'll make 10 tricks there. So well done, those of you who saw the need there to play the diamonds right away, and it has to be the ace of diamonds. Finally, let's look at this one, where you open a heart, your partner bids 2 clubs. Let's suppose you bid 2 diamonds. That's showing your second suit. It should be showing at least 5 hearts and 4 diamonds. Your partner bids 3 hearts, so they have some kind of support for you in hearts, and you end up in 4 hearts. And the opponents lead a club, the king of clubs. And again, I'd like you to think about your possible losers here and what you're going to do about them. So in spades, I don't have any spades to lose. I may lose to the queen of hearts, depending on where it is and how the hearts divide. In clubs, I don't have any club losers. I've got the ace opposite my singleton. And the only other losers I've got is in diamonds, where I have potentially 3 diamond losers in the south hand, but I hope to ruff at least a couple of those in dummy. In fact, I can do a little better on this hand by, before I try to ruff any diamonds, I've got a similar situation with strong spades here. If I play 3 rounds of spades, I'll be able to discard a diamond and may not lose any diamonds now. So that's what I'm going to do on this hand. I'm going to win the first trick, and I'm going to plan to play 3 rounds of spades, discarding a diamond. And then this hand is really well set up for cross-ruffing, because I've got all the high trump apart from the queen, and the only low trumps I've got are the 4 and the 5. So I'm going to plan now to cross-ruff this hand, and I'm going to start maybe by playing a club and ruffing the first one low. Now I'm going to play the spades, the king, and the ace and the queen, and that gives me a chance to discard a diamond there. And now I hope you can see I'm going to try to ruff all my diamonds. So I'll play the ace of diamonds, play another diamond, ruff the first one low, and I'm going to now try to get back to my hand, ruffing a club and ruffing another diamond. I'll just bring up the 4 hands at this point. And if I now play another club, then I can ruff that, ruff another diamond, play another club, and depending on how the defense goes, and depending where the queen of hearts is, I can actually make at least 12, or in this case, I made 13 tricks there. So again, that was a matter of looking at the spade suit there, realizing it gives you the opportunity for a discard, And then perhaps the best way to play this is a complete cross run. So let me know if you have any questions on any of that. Otherwise, I'll end the talk there, and I'll just stop sharing my screen with you. And
Tony,
yes, hello.
sorry. In the last one,
Yeah.
why would they lead the club when they know the North beat the club? Would they not lead one of the unbeat suit, like spade, for example?
Yeah, well, they may. On the other hand, West here has got very good club suit. So King, Queen, Jack is a very attractive lead. You're only going to force out that, and then you hope to set up club. So yes, you might decide to lead spades as it was the unbid suit. But I would probably lead a club in that situation because my clubs are so good.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
I'll stop sharing the screen there, and we'll start the game at 7:30.